Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am Monk. I'm tired as hell, but we gotta talk because I haven't done it in a couple of days. How are you guys? Hope you're well. I'm all right. Um, I don't want to talk about it. How how's things on your end? Oh my goodness, man. Um, a few things in the last few days. I've almost fired up the streams, and I don't know if I'm glad I didn't or glad that I decided to wait so that I can do it all now because there's a lot to talk about and a lot of stupid out there. So much stupid. We're going to start with talking about the wildfire because that is the big story, which apparently I'm very topical, you guys. I learned that on Twitter, and we'll get to that stuff later. Let's bring up a picture here so that everybody can see what we're talking about. There we go. How many times do we have to do this? How many times do we have to look at California on fire and point out that mismanagement of their forest is causing these fires to get bigger and worse and killing more people and destroying more homes, as well as the environment that they're supposedly saving before somebody actually fucking listens? Good God, man. This is not rocket science. This is, hey, forest management's been shit we've been doing for 1,000 years. Maybe we should start doing it again. Yeah, sometimes shit's going to happen and it'll get out of control, but it is amazing how often it's happening. California still doesn't do forest management. No, they don't. They really don't. And do you guys remember back when Trump was president and there was a big fire outbreak there in California? And he said, yeah, it's because they don't manage their forests. And the entirety of the media, the entirety of it was like, he's lying. That's not what it is. But California themselves had put out a statement. They made a report on this saying, yeah, we need to maybe manage the forests a little better because we're really fucking that up. And they still haven't done it. They still haven't done it. They're leaving underbrush and stuff, and they've gotten rid. They had to have a new panel put in to see if maybe controlled burns would be a good idea. And they can't figure out if this thing we've done for hundreds of years is a good fucking idea to keep from, burning down the entire state. And then I saw the Krasensteins. Because Trump is rightfully out there going, this is what happens when Democrats take over. You can blame the Democrats for this because 100% you can. They'll just blame climate change as usual. They already are. It's the climate change. It's on fire, and you guys still refuse to admit that it's climate change. It's not climate change. It's environmental bullshit has led to land management change, which has led to more destructive fires. And nobody can seem to figure that shit out. And then I see, the Krasensteins pop up and like, Donald Trump, it is not right to be being mean and pointing fingers right now. What we need to be doing is sending thoughts and prayers. Brian actually retweeted Mike Pence saying, oh, we send out our prayers. And this is what Trump should be doing. And I asked him, like, what? So we don't point out that there's a problem here? We don't point and go, hey, this shit needs fixed so that it doesn't happen again. Oh, but California topped themselves this time, guys. Oh, boy, have they topped themselves this time. Because this fire is out there in L.A. It's the Pacific Palisades area down there by Malibu, down there in Malibu. And it turns out they don't have water. They didn't refill the fucking reservoir. So the firefighters go to plug in their hoses and turn it on and air comes out because these fucking idiots are like, with all the fires we have, do you really think we need water? What? That's just being silly. Thank you, Cult of Krill. Cut down all the eucalyptus trees in California and the fires won't be as bad. Look, I hear what you're saying about the eucalyptus trees, but what you could also do is just actual land management. I mean, They don't even have fire breaks in large parts of fucking California. And that is forest management 101. You have fire breaks in case fire breaks out. But in this case, they didn't even have water. They didn't refill the fucking reservoir. And then like, hey, no, you don't point that out. Don't play politics with this. It's not playing politics. You're getting people killed. Oh, we just don't have the money. You have the money to rebuild all of fucking Malibu? You have the money to rebuild dead people? Jesus freaking Christ, man. No, we didn't. We ran out of the water. There's an ocean right next to you. Look left, dumbass. It's right there. I actually got into an argument with a name we haven't talked about in a long time, Adindro, because I made a joke about like they ran out of water, and I put a picture from just from a map showing Los Angeles and all of the goddamn water you can see just with a cursory look. And you can't use salt water to put out fire. I never said you should do that. But what you could do is desalinate the water. We've had do you guys know how long ago mankind, as far as we know, first desalinized water? 3200 BC, 5,000 years ago. But they just can't figure it the fuck out for California's water issues. No, it's those fucking Sumerians, they knew what they were doing, but all that has been lost to us since. Jeff, thank you so much. I've got an aunt and uncle under mandatory evacuation right now. Hard to get info from them as the phone lines are jammed, as well as power outages. The entire California government should be fired for this mess. Yeah, California government and so the mayor of Los Angeles, the fire chief of Los Angeles, they all need fucking fired. The mayor of Los Angeles. I don't mean to laugh. I'm laughing because how goddamn stupid this is. The mayor of Los Angeles cut the fire department budget by $17 million. How many stories have we heard over and over that each year the fires in California are getting worse? And this is the second largest of the cuts the mayor made to the budget. I forget what the first one was, but number 2 on her list at a cost of $17.5 million, firefighters, fire departments. Didn't want to waste that money, I guess. It's amazing to me how many people, they just didn't have the money to do the right stuff. These are the same people that tell us we need to completely remake our economy because a fucking frog lives somewhere and it might croak if it gets a little too warm. But when it comes to human beings literally burning to death, they just can't find that money. They're spending billions educating illegals who shouldn't even be in the fucking country, but they just cannot figure out how not to barbecue their citizens. Ham and Beans, thank you. How many LAPD fire department or firefighters were let go because they didn't get the COOF shot? That's a good question. I don't know how many were, but I do know that some were. They didn't take the COOF shot, so they had to go away. Yeah, on your screen, this is Los Angeles right there. Make sure my pointer's actually showing up. It's not. Why is it doing that? All right, let's try this. It's still not showing up. It's the big bundle of words right there. And the rest of that is literally water. It's literally water. And, well, they can't get it desalinated in time. I'm not saying they should. I've been talking about California using the water on their entire fucking border for more than a decade. And on this show specifically, like 7 years. Like, oh, no, it's too expensive. It's too expensive. If you play this clown, he will read your comment, LOL. I read lots of comments, Gordon. I just read your dumbass comment. Anyway, they could have been preparing for this. They could have been doing this instead of wasting money on high-speed rail shit that they still haven't gotten done, or any of the other public projects that they haven't gotten done that they've wasted so much money on. The thing that they could actually do, that mankind has literally known how to do for 5,000 fucking years, that one they just can't figure out. That one's just going to be a little too expensive to do it on any kind of major way. Didn't refill the reservoir. They did not refill the fucking reservoir. Look, there's a lot of things that need to be done. Look, there's a lot to be said all around. You can do more to mitigate fire danger. You can clean up the forests. You can do the controlled burns. You can have fire breaks and all kinds of things that need to be done. But fires are still going to happen. And when they do, you need fucking water. Literally the plot of Chinatown. You're not wrong, man. And it actually goes a lot deeper when you look into what's the name of that family that owns all the water there in California, so that they can make pistachios and pomegranates. Yeah, the water situation in California has always been a shithole thing like this, ripe for corruption. And this time it's costing people their homes. Apparently the Hollywood sign is in danger of burning down. And if that's not a fucking fitting metaphor for Hollywood, I don't know what would be. Hey, Scribbles, how you doing, my friend? Smokey the Bear is yelling at Gavin Newsom. I don't think Gavin would listen anyway. Gavin's an asshole. He's a horrible asshole. They've known about this problem for decades. And the fire part of it, seriously, they were doing this during Trump's administration. They were doing it during parts of Obama's administration. Look, every year it gets worse. And all they do is go, it's global warming. It's not global warming. It's you fucking idiots are making every bad decision you can. I blame the EPA as well. Yeah, me too. I mean, the reason that they didn't do the burning is because they had to do environmental surveys. And we have to make sure it's environmentally sound to keep the state from burning down around us. Yeah, how's that survey going, Gavin? You fucking shitbag. And then to top it off, we have the LA fire chief. And it's as though liberals are trying to prove to us how retarded they are. Like, every time we have one of these major stories of shit going really bad, we have something similar to this. This is the first woman to lead the LAFD. Thank you, Frosted. What next, Monk? No more napalm balloons. Napalm balloon fights. Yeah. Soon they'll ban matches, I guess. I don't fucking know. But anyway, City Council votes to appoint first woman to lead the LAFD. And this is from 2022. The news, of course, because look, we got a vagina in the seat. We got to go talk to her about being vaginal. And yes, vaginal is a real word.
I'm super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
You're the head of the fire department, and your goal is to increase diversity. Not, increase response times, decrease deaths, get out there and teach people about the importance of having smoke detectors. No, what we need is more vag on the truck. That's what'll keep people safe. What we need is a bunch of women out there to fight these fires. Because they're known for being able to carry people fireman style over their shoulder and save them from burning buildings.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough. So literally, if you had 100% women, that still wouldn't be enough. I mean, it certainly get that death rate up. I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough. You shouldn't be looking for a number, because you should be looking at the merits of each candidate to be on the fire department, not whether or not they squat to piss, okay? Because you're talking about people's lives and livelihoods. This isn't a fucking sandwich shop in the middle of the city and you're like, I just want to make sure that everybody's represented. This is real people and real consequences. You're talking about literally people burning to death. Does that sound fun to you? Hey, I burned to death, but at least the bitch who couldn't save me was a chick. That made me feel a whole lot better about dying a horrible fucking death. Good God. This is what we've been living with. This is what we've been pointing to. This is what we've been telling you. Hey, this is a goddamn problem. You can't do this shit based on genitals. You need to do it based on whether or not they can do the goddamn job. And as soon as this bitch came out like, yes, what I really want is diversity, she should have been fired, because that shouldn't even be a fucking priority for her. She should be looking at ways to improve the department. And no, adding women doesn't improve it unless they're good firefighters. Fuck. Monkey, diversity is more important than fighting fires. It absolutely is. Everything is less important than diversity in our country, and it has led us to a very dangerous fucking place. It really has. It has put us in all kinds of danger. Hopefully none of it happens. Hopefully nobody dies in this fire. I don't know if there's a body count yet. I'm assuming there's going to be one. Hopefully things go well. I never want bad shit to happen. I really don't. But looking at something and going, there's a problem there, is trying to keep bad things from happening. 5, as far as I know, God damn it. But hey, they got some more vag up there on the team. The truck smells summer eve fresh. That's what's really important. You are the head of the fire department. Why in the ever-loving fuck were you not on TV every night bitching that the mayor cut your fucking budget by $17 million and didn't refill the fucking reservoir? Jesus. But we got the vaginal fighters. I'm not against women firefighters. They just should be qualified. And not qualified as women firefighters, but the same shit we used to have. If a man can't, we didn't change the rules if there was a man who couldn't do the fireman carry. We went, sorry, we realize you want to be a firefighter, but you can't do the job. Go do something else. But when it came to women, we're like, you can't do the fireman carry, so how about you drag a sack of wheat that weighs 1/10 of what a person does 5 feet across the ground, and we'll call it good? That's only a very small exaggeration of what they've actually done with the standards in fire departments to allow women to be in them. Same thing with the military. Like, hey, the women want to do it. Okay, I want to play in the NFL. It didn't work out. It sucks to be me. The difference is me, if they say, hey, Monkey, go, you wanted to do it, so you can go quarterback the Chargers. Worst case, we lose games. Worst case in this scenario, people die. And nothing to worry about, man, because we got that diversity. It can never be enough. What a fucking horrible way to look at life. What a fucking horrible way to look at things. But the women want to. All right. So I want to have a vagina I can play with anytime I want to. That's not happening either. No. The women, they deserve a chance. Yeah, a chance. They don't deserve a spot. Those are different things. Yes, they deserve a chance to go out there and try to do it. And if they can't, you tell them, sorry, sweetie, go with the guys who couldn't do it. You guys go over there and you make a Smokey the Bear fan club. But you don't get to be on the truck where we need people who can do hard physical labor under some of the worst fucking conditions you can imagine. I mean, it literally looks like a movie version of hell. I don't know how many videos or stills you guys have looked at from this thing, but it is fucking tragic. I saw one video, people walking down the street, and there's just embers pelting them the whole time. People had to get out of their cars because the traffic, and the people were like, I'm going to stop and watch the fire, I guess. They just got out of their cars and had to run. One lady said that she got out of her car because a cop told her to, and he told her, just run to the ocean. And I'm like, yeah, that's the solution. Let everything burn and then run to the ocean. That'll save you. Cult of Krill, thank you so much for that. Feminist, $12. I know a 5 foot tall, maybe 110 pound, 19-year-old chick who wants to be a firefighter. I'm 6 foot tall, 250 pounds. I told her I'd give her $500 if she could fireman carry me 50 feet. She didn't take me up on the offer. Look, man, even at her size, I would have had to try it just for the $500. But yeah, I get it, okay? There's lots of things I'd like to do that I'm never gonna. But when it comes to people's lives, maybe that's not where we do this. Maybe that's not where diversity really belongs. Maybe what really belongs right there. If we can't do it anywhere else in society, can we at least fucking do it? You in your current state could still probably QB for the Chargers. Thank you for that understatement. No, not. They got Justin Herbert out there. Maybe 5 years ago. When there's lives at stake, maybe that's where we go. You know what? We're not going to pretend with the whole diversity stuff, right? Maybe we'll stop pretending that men and women are actually physically equal when it comes to the possibility of grandma getting set on fire. No, that's too far. That's bigoted. That's sexist. That's patriarchy. Let me ask you, ladies. I don't care how big you are, right? But you're in a house fire. And they give you your choice beforehand. Oh, hang on one moment. Jack, my friend, how the hell are you, man?
I've been better. How are you?
I've been better. But I'm on a ranting roll here, so.
Ah, well, don't let me stop you.
Evolved Potato, thank you so much. Does anyone remember those terrible forest fires that Australia had a few years ago? For several months before, until a few days before the fires started, they protested the backburns. We didn't do 99% of forest management because of that. Yeah, there was a video of one of the guys, or some Aussie guy, who was livid because they didn't do the backburns. And yeah, they burned down a whole large, massive part of Australia. Because communists ruin everything and environmentalism comes from commies, okay? But Jack, I was just about to place or put a hypothetical to the ladies out there. All ladies. Whether you weigh 80 pounds or you weigh 800 pounds. All right, ladies. We're going to let you decide in advance. In case you're ever trapped in a fire, would you prefer, and all I'm going to tell you is the sex, would you prefer a man to come save you or a woman to come save you?
A bear. Oh.
A bear, yeah. And now, guys, I don't want to say you guys are smarter, but we're bigger, so clearly we're going to go with the men, unless you're a dumbass. But ladies, because this is for you. They're doing it all for you, to make you equal. Would you prefer a man or a woman? What do you think? Where do you think your odds are going to be better? A manly woman. Oh God. Jack, we just watched the fire chief out there in LA. She was elected or appointed in 2022.
Yeah.
And they did this video with her where she's like, diversity is one of the most important things. There can never be enough of it. That is you're playing with people's lives at that point.
They don't care. Remember, people are individually just numbers to them. So that doesn't matter if James Woods lost his house today, which he did.
Yeah.
Or all these other people. It doesn't matter. They put the greater good above everything else. The individuals are meaningless to them.
Evolved Potato asks, is the woman hot? If you have a woman can save you, both of you are going to get very hot.
Not in a sexy way.
Not in a sexy way. No, in the, oh my God, I'm frying like bacon in here.
That'd be like that one date I have. I'm hot. My hair's on fire. Me. Get me an ambulance. Blah, blah, blah. Self-centered bitch.
Some people are so self-centered.
I know, right?
All right, let's finish watching this idiot bitch. I don't remember if she says anymore on here.
Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women, right?
That's too many.
That's way too many. How many administrators and secretaries do you need?
I'm sorry. I'm not believing you have 115 or whatever it was he said, women who can do the same job a man can.
No, not for a fucking second.
I don't care. I need him to be able to get me out of there. Yes, exactly. I'm not okay. Some people might say I'm a sexist, but when it comes to this, it's not sexism. It's just survival.
Yeah. If it's a big burly lesbian that could drag me out, fine. I don't care. But if they don't meet the same standards as the men, you're not going to save my life. I'm sorry. I'm gigantic. There's no way some 180 pound or 110 pound girl is going to drag my fat ass out of a fire.
Well, one of the reasons we do the fireman carry is so that you're not dragging people across a floor that might be burning.
Yeah. Yeah, plus men have more upper body strength, which women don't have, so they can't do the fireman carry nearly as well.
Meritocracy. Yes, when it comes to things like firefighting, military, police, meritocracy should reign supreme.
Yeah.
If you want to have your a Fortune 500 company where the hardest work you do is refilling the water cooler, and you want to be like, we have diversity, I think you're stupid and you're going to destroy your company, but at least you're not putting lives in danger. This is literally putting lives in danger. All right.
Now, she's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose, attracting the best and brightest for the job.
Getting more women in here will attract the best and brightest for the job, Jack.
Right. Sure it will.
I'm not saying they're not the best and brightest. I'm just saying they're not the best and brightest at fighting fires. Maybe they're the best and brightest at baking a cake.
Yeah, or go do math or something. Don't try and fight fires if you can't lift or carry the hose.
Yeah, I did kind of go sexist there with baking, didn't I? Nope, because the best chefs in the world are all men, so suck it.
Well, I mean, look, men are better at everything.
I'm just saying. It's not sexist to say women should go cook. I'm just trying to get them to be as good as men.
Trying to make them good at something.
Yeah. I'm trying to help them out. I am being anti-sexist by telling women they need to go cook more.
It's true.
Yeah. Anyway.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
Yes. That's what when I'm burning in a fire, I want to make sure that person who's trying to save me by pulling at my foot and just removing my sock feels that they're valued.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're on a inclusive team is very, very important to this lady, apparently.
Tell you what, carry me out of the fire, I'll give you some money. But when we both die in there because as valued as you feel you can't do the fucking job, nobody wins.
The chief also checks another box when it comes to
Wait,
inclusivity and diversity at this department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
Of course she is.
Because of course she is. Not only, really, the chick who wanted to be a firefighter is a lesbian. I'm shocked.
Well, she might be a non-binary wolfkin for all we know. California's an odd place.
Next, you'll tell me her dad really wanted a son.
And then that one of her uncles diddled her.
Eric, thank you so much. My department has a woman firefighter. She can't lift, but she's fast, and her speed at setting up hose lines and searching a room is a huge asset. I bet you can find a guy who's faster. I'm only basing that on the fact that statistically men are faster than women. I hear you. And look, if she can do that part of the job for you and that's all you need her for, great. Great. But what happens when you need her for something, real? And I don't mean to diminish what she does, but we're talking about the times when, let's say she runs in there to find somebody and she does find somebody and she gets trapped. Is she going to carry that person out, or does she normally have to come get you?
Yeah, because let's be honest, you could train a dog to find somebody.
Sure.
And are women better than dogs? Well,
Yeah.
If you're replaceable by a dog.
How many of the guys in your department, and again, I'm not meaning to denigrate her at all, but how many guys in your department get to just clear a room and hook up a hose? I'm betting it's not a 4-person job that you got people to do that like that. They have to be able to do the whole job.
The whole job.
Anyway, so our gay woman here, and I don't mean the person on the screen at the moment. Our gay woman here is the fire chief out there where the city's burning down and they had no water. Did you see the video of the mayor coming back from Ghana?
Yeah. Oh my God, that lady has no idea what's going on. Like, she looks totally clueless.
Let me see if I can find that one. Well, I actually responded to it was Jimmy Dore who had tweeted it out. Several people did. He's just the one I saw from. Go ahead.
While you're doing that, I want to thank some people. Thank you, Dixie Rose, for the generous donation 6 days ago. I'm not going to read a lot of these because they're personal, and quite honestly, I might start crying if I do. Thank you, Retro, for that incredibly generous donation 3 days ago. Thank you, Attack Alpaca, for the generous donation. Thank you, Ben, for the generous donation. Thank you, Doug, for the generous donation. Thank you, Nala, for the generous donation. And thank you, Adabisi, for the generous donation. Thank you again, Adabisi, for the generous donation. He says, hello from the Philippines. I was giving Genghis Khan a run for his money, so I found out that's a very good girl.
Whoops.
Well, it's what it is. The Philippines are full of beautiful women.
This is the mayor of Los Angeles. I forget her name. Starts with a letter, I'm sure.
Oh, well, at any rate, I'm glad you found a girl at ABC, and thank you very much.
Now, she's in Ghana, and there's a lot of people who are giving her shit for that. I'm of two minds of this because, she did cut the budget of the fire department and didn't refill the reservoir. So she probably should have been working on stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if the fire hadn't have broke out, nobody would have given a shit she went to Ghana. I just don't know why the mayor of Los Angeles is going to Ghana.
I don't know.
Adabisi, thank you so much. Who says, I just got here. We're glad to have you. But I don't know why she went to Ghana, and I really don't give a shit that she went to Ghana. The timing is horrible, but it's not like she left after the fire started, at least as far as I know.
Yeah, it's just shit timing.
Yeah, it's bad timing.
Look, people go on vacation. That's not a huge deal.
And she might have been trying to work out a thing because oftentimes mayors will go overseas to try to bring business here. So there might be a valid reason for her going.
Yeah. I mean, she's probably just on vacation. Look, I get it.
I don't. Why would you vacation in Ghana?
Uh,
Do you just want to be reminded how good you have it in the United States?
Well, that would do it. Maybe she wanted to like reconnect with some genealogical roots, or just
Maybe.
leave a bunch of money around. I don't know. But look, I don't care about her trip to Ghana because people go on vacation.
Yeah.
She cut her trip short to come back. Fine. But she should have had some answers for these guys.
Yes.
Owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
Won't even look at him.
Yeah, she's not even like trying to answer his questions.
And in fairness, and I said this on Twitter, like in fairness, the only thing she could really say here is, I fucked up and I resign. You know what I mean?
You would think.
There's no good answers for the questions because these are questions that shouldn't have to be asked. You live in a state where year after year after year after year, every publication tells us how your state is burning, and you went, I know, the second biggest cut we'll make is to the fire departments.
Yeah. Oh, apparently she was there for the presidential inauguration.
Why?
I don't know. Apparently that's who they sent to rep them. I don't know. Real quick though, thank you, Cult of Crow, for the very generous donation. I think women could be excellent fire inspectors. The people who come in after the fire determine what caused it, but
Sure.
not when shit hits the fan. I'll give you that one. Because you know what?
Yeah.
Women are good at uncovering dirt on people.
They can investigate like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and if anybody's like, what do you got on me? They'll be like, I think you know.
Right?
You know what you did.
You know what you did. I'm not even going to tell you. You tell me.
Right?
Yeah.
But thank you, Cult of Crow, for that generous donation. You guys have been amazing helping us out, and it really makes a huge difference. Thank you guys so much for all the help you've given me.
Rick says, got to house those homeless. I'm not even against it. My problem is how much money did Los Angeles spend on illegals this year? Anybody want to guess? I bet you it's more than the 17 million that they cut from the fire department.
Oh, yeah, easily. Why do you think they had to cut the money from the fire department?
Yeah.
For all these stupid programs.
I am against a lot of social programs, even for Americans, Jack. But if we're going to be spending that money, we should be spending it on Americans.
Obviously.
If we have to do it, it shouldn't be going to fucking illegals. Especially when the illegals are out there fucking us without consent.
Well, they do like to rape people.
Tim says about 8 billion. 8 billion.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And yeah, sure, why not? We got to cut some. We got to cut somewhere, and we can't have these illegals suffering. So, you know, let's hope the city doesn't burn down. Oh shit! I had a thing sent to me by Retro on Twitter. They judged me, Jack, and they said my humor is satirical and sarcastic. I'm like, huh? Yeah.
That's pretty on point.
Well, it's hard not to be satirical and sarcastic when I'm dealing with such stupid shit all the time.
Oh my God, the people that you find to argue with is
okay.
mind-boggling.
I'm talking about though, just talking about the news.
Oh, yeah, there's that too.
I mean, we just saw a lady telling us how important diversity is as the fire chief. How do you not be sarcastic about that?
Dude, you got me.
Because the other choices are not good. Thank you, High King Fenor. If this fire manages to get to downtown LA, the fallout is going to be mental. Look, the Santa Ana wind's blowing through there. I don't know how much of the video you've watched, Jack. It's fucking horrific out there right now.
Yeah, there's a new fire just popped up over by the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
The Hollywood sign is not on fire. Those photos are photoshopped. It's not on fire yet, anyway.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
there's a new fire out there. That makes 4 total fires that have been involved in this. And they, from what I was reading, some of them they think may have been started by homeless people.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I would not either. Real quick though, thank you Retro for that very, very generous donation. You've had a rough month or so. Happy to help, Jack. Thanks, man. It has been a hellish month.
Tim points out 3 billion, not 8 billion. Was that just my eyesight or was it typed wrong?
That's probably just your eyesight.
It was probably my eyesight, but I'm still hopeful.
If not, we're just going to gaslight you into thinking it was your eyesight.
For the record, this goes on for another minute and a half, well, a minute and 20 seconds of this woman refusing to answer any questions and him asking her, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, she just hangs her head in shame like a little kid who got caught doing something.
Yeah.
It's really, really embarrassing. She should be embarrassed, though. Oh, thank you, Frosted. To be fair, she only went to Africa because she had a bet going with one of their mayors over who had the most citizens with HIV. I think California is going to win that one.
Probably. Well, maybe they were going per capita.
Yeah, they're not even counting the illegals and the homeless.
Oh, Tim says it was his mistake. Oh, awesome. My barely functioning eyes functioned well enough. It still doesn't erase that they're spending $3 billion on illegals and they cut $17 million from the fire department.
Yeah, that is insane. The illegals should be getting nothing. No free stuff, no free housing, no free medical, no education, nothing. They're not supposed to be here. Stop draining our resources, you blights.
Yep, they could have cut.
I might be in a bit of a mood. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Could have cut, 2% of the illegal budget and still paid for the fire department?
Yeah, you know what I think we should do?
What's
we should
that?
take one of the empty arenas that they have over there. It's one of the old sports arenas or racetracks or something. And we start the homeless versus the illegals. And whoever wins the competition of the fight to the death gladiatorial death matches that I would be glad to volunteer to oversee. Then they get they fight for EBT cards.
I think that they should fight to. You're talking about illegals, right?
Yeah, illegal aliens versus the homeless.
Oh, I thought it was just illegals because I say you have the illegals fight it out, and the winner gets a bus back home, and the loser has to swim.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to dropping them out of airplanes either. Parachutes are for winners.
Retro, thanks so much. Grok is no longer giving out the score breakdown. Methinks they are regretting it. Thank you for that generous donation. And probably, I don't know if you saw my score there, Jack, but we're going to have to talk about it because part of it pissed me off. Shocking, right?
Well, I mean, it's probably a legitimate reason to be pissed, but real quick, thank you, Travis Gardner, who says, "Hi, Jack. Hi, Travis. Thank you." What's a Grok score?
It was a score. It's basically your Twitter score.
Okay.
It's like your social credit score on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
And Retro did his, and then he asked it, what's Ranting Monkey's score? And then these are the results. Says, based on the content and nature of Ranting Monkey's posts on X, here's an informal assessment of their Grok score. 45 out of 100, Jack.
Ouch.
The breakdown. Humor, 6 out of 10. That's low. I'm sorry. I am much funnier than a 6.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm at least an 8. All right.
Oh, yeah, at least.
Monkey often uses humor, though it's predominantly satirical or sarcastic, which might not appeal to everyone. Certainly not those that it's aimed at, I'm sure. But it's still funny. It's objectively funny.
Yeah, you're very comedic.
Asking Adendro today if alcoholism made him lonely again. That was just funny.
That was just mean. Funny, but mean.
It was funny.
And the Sal Nation comment you did, or rebuttal you did, was great.
Well, he's a fucking retard, man.
Well, I mean, drinking does things to people.
Engagement, 7 out of 10. There's a decent level of engagement as the posts are designed to provoke discussion or reaction, even if sometimes controversial. All right, for the record, I just need to get this off my chest. I do not say shit to provoke discussion. Reaction, sure. But I never actually expect a discussion. I'm mostly making fun of people, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I don't really want to start a conversation. I don't have time for that shit.
Insightfulness. This is the one that pissed me off. 5 out of 10. But wait till you hear the reason. While there are moments of insight, the ranting style, the ranting style can sometimes overshadow substantive commentary. So I'm insightful, but I'm a jackass, so nobody can tell.
That's unfair and untrue.
It's 100% untrue. This was written by a bitch. Whoever programmed this part of the algorithm is a bitch. I'm just saying. They're probably somebody I've made fun of before.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Positivity, 3 out of 10. I'm sorry, that one makes me laugh. The name and content suggests a focus on ranting, which inherently leads towards negativity or frustration. I've had many rants that were actually hilarious and not negative at all. I've ranted about things I like, Jack.
That's true.
You can have positive rants. It just, you have to be talented at it like I am.
And very modest.
But I just love that the name and content suggest a focus on ranting. Yeah? You think they would do that for somebody named Steve?
I don't know. If his name was like Steve Dickstroker or something, they might.
Steve Bummer. He takes the ass. You know what I mean? No arrogant score. No, there's really not. Next up, which you can't really read on the screen there, guys, but it says creativity, 6 out of 10. You're clearly not judging me based on my mama jokes, because that'd be an 11 out of 10.
That is true. You are good at those.
I really am. There's creativity in how topics are approached, but it's often within a narrow scope of critique or satire. They really hate satire over there at X.
Apparently.
Yeah, God bless, man. They better stay away from like National Lampoons. Let's go on to the next level of these. Wait, come on. There we go. Oh, that is much smaller. Let's do this. Now I need to be able to read this shit. All right. Community, 4 out of 10. The divisive nature of ranting can split the community, potentially alienating some while engaging others. I feel like that's not fair. At the very, I deserve a 5 out of 10 on that. I bring people together.
Yeah, that's good. In solidarity against stupid people, yeah.
True, yeah. Relevance, 8 out of 10. The posts are typically on current or trending topics, ensuring relevance. I know a lot of people who comment on current events that aren't relevant at all because what they say is fucking stupid. Just saying.
I think you know a lot of those people based on the tweets of yours I read.
Memorability, 7 out of 10. I'll take that. The style and approach make Ranting Monkey memorable, though not always for positive reasons. That's that asshole monkey. Yup. You know what? The great part about it is that can also be, hey, that's that asshole monkey. That sentence works two ways depending on how you inflect on it.
Oh, I think we all know which inflection you get more than the other.
Consistency, 8 out of 10. The account maintains a consistent theme of ranting. That is not true. I rarely actually rant over there. I don't have the time to type out rants. They don't come out well. I do most of my ranting here. Where are we? Which is clear in the branding and content. Well, not if you were paying attention. See, whoever programmed this shit, and yes, AIs are programmed, is a retard.
Well, they focused way too heavily on your handle.
Yeah, because it says rant. Well, but they've said in a couple of cases, the content. No, because the content actually, I don't rant very much over there. I mostly make fun of people. If we're just being honest, probably 60 to 70% of my posts are me making fun of somebody who said something stupid. It's not a rant. It's just, you're a fucking retard, and here's why. Innovation. This is the one I just don't even understand. 4 out of 10. While there's a unique voice, the format of ranting doesn't often stray into new or innovative territory. How do you make an innovative tweet? Should I start my own language? I don't understand how innovation even becomes a thing in this equation. And once again, whoever programmed it's a fucking retard to be looking for innovation. And hey, that dude made a post.
Yeah, that's weird.
He spelled the words all wrong, to be different and innovative. It doesn't even make sense. Ted Lieu wrote that. This score is speculative and based on the general perception one might gather from the name and the style of content typically associated with it. Remember, this isn't an official score, but a playful way to gauge online presence. Well, there you go. It was all playful, Jack. And in fairness, because I really haven't been active on Twitter very much recently, my engagement went way up when I did come back. I got quite a few new followers. I got more followers in one day from 6 tweets than I'd gotten the full month before. See, here's a little known fact about Twitter, Jack. If you've done something to piss off the algorithm, if you wait a week or so and then start tweeting again, the algorithm kind of does a soft reset on you. Sometimes it takes longer depending on what you said or did. But you take some time off and it clears up your Twitter AIDS. Some of the Twitter herpes scabs fall off.
Oh, well, these things happen.
Yeah, so apparently I'm a memorable meanie who's kind of funny, but not very insightful. Because I'm funny. It just annoyed me. It annoyed me that the idea that you can't be insightful and funny at the same time, even with satire. Satire is some of the most insightful shit going around if you're actually paying attention to it. Good satire, I mean.
Yeah.
It has to be insightful or it doesn't work. But my guess is whoever wrote that shit, who programmed that shit, is a Dane Cook fan or a Tom Green fan or a Jackass fan. He didn't say poopy.
It's not insightful if there's no butthole jokes.
Anyhow, let's see. No, I don't care about that one. Like I said, I really haven't been on all that much. Got all those. Okay. Now I got to scroll down and see what I've missed from the last couple of days. Don't care about that one. Oh, the last thing there is okay. I don't care. Jack, anything you want to talk about specifically?
Not really.
Cool.
My life
Then we'll
sucks.
just.
How about you?
I had a rough day, man. Your mom died a couple of days ago, and then the very next day, I wake up to a tweet or a text from a friend telling me that a good friend of mine passed away. You've heard me talk about her before. She's one of the girls I used to eat lunch with at Walmart every day.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Oh, that's all right, man. It shit happens, but it sucked. It sucked. It still sucks. She's one of my favorite people on the planet, and she's one of the few people in my life that you could tell she judged me, but she never held it against me. I spent 9 years, 5 days a week. Me and her were attached at the hip. She's like 20 years older than me. She's like the greatest fun aunt you ever had, even though we weren't related. Yeah, and it was sudden. She had a cold and nobody heard from her, so they went to check on her and found her passed. And my wife asked me, Dave, do you want to go to the funeral? I'm like, I really don't. I don't like funerals, Jack. I had a bad experience in my childhood. I don't know if you guys know this, but they never have funerals unless somebody died.
Yeah, and it's never a happy time.
It's not, no.
Surrounded by sad people. Being sad.
Thank you, Timothy, who says, morning, Monk. Good morning. Hope you're well. And I'm not telling you guys all this to make you sad or anything. It is one of the times, Jack, I thought just like, I think it was last week, like, I haven't talked to her in a while. I need to reach out. And I didn't. But she knows me well enough to know that didn't mean I didn't love her, because, you know, she knows me, and I'm a pretty frank person.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can handle the funeral, man.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I know you do, and I feel like an ass even talking about this with what you've been through in the last couple of weeks. But man, sometimes life just kicks you, and that's why we do. That's why we do shows like this, to take your mind off that shit. So that's why I talked about it.
Yeah, we got a kick in the nuts because the insurance company is not going to pay out on 2 of the claims, life insurance, because they were in my brother's name. He was the beneficiary, and since he's dead, they're trying to say they don't have to pay. So now we got to deal with that.
Bullshit! It goes to the estate.
You would think so, but
no, I know so.
Yeah, I know, but they're saying that's conflict of interest because I'm the estate executor for him. And I was like, that's the dumbest fucking argument I've ever heard. And then we talked to the lawyer, and he said, that's the dumbest fucking argument I've ever heard. I said, that's what I said.
Yeah, they're just trying to get you to go, oh, I guess not. Nah, fuck them.
Yeah, so we got to fight with that. In the meantime, got to come up with several $1,000s to pay for mom's, mortuary expenses or whatever they call them.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to do one funeral or wake all at the same time.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I was so pissed. And we're running into all these problems, and the banks being a bunch of douchebags. So yeah, it's just one thing after another to piss me off. I was like, look, we don't need this shit.
I'm saying, and it comes at a perfect time while you're grieving. This is one of the problems with predatory insurance stuff, and government runs into this as well. Like, it's some of the worst times of your lives, and they're like, hey, you thought it was bad. Let me talk to you. Let me make it worse for you. Real quick, Dark Conservatarian, thanks so much. Read following regular chat message. YouTube super chats won't let me send it. I will be on the lookout for it. That is like the insurance company from The Incredibles. They just deny and hope you accept it. There's a lot of that goes on, especially in the life insurance industry. when it comes to like medical insurance and getting turned down, like I saw a stat the other day, 30% of claims are turned down. They don't tell you what those 30% are. It's things like, I want to cut off my penis and you should pay for it. And they're like, I don't think so. Although
Yeah,
these days they are.
Yeah, or like I want to add some boobies.
Yeah. Like,
It's a lot of that stuff. But yeah, it's I don't know. I'm just so tired of making phone calls and dealing with a bunch of people. I can't sue. I don't have any money, Roasted. That's the whole problem. That money was supposed to pay for the funeral expenses, and we can't pay for that even. So they're going to be holding my mom's ashes until we can pay.
yeah.
So,
And I understand where they're coming from. It's a service provided, but
yeah.
that's kind of weird. Like, we're not giving you your relative.
Yeah. My brother said one time, he's like, look, if you can't pay for the funeral, just tell him to fuck off and throw my ashes in the trash. But we got his cup paid for, thanks to you guys. But yeah, man, it's just been a whole thing, and we got to get the vehicles transferred so we can sell them and all that, and it's becoming a giant hassle because you need the death certificate,
Right.
and so we got to go to another place to get the death certificate. We actually have to go to the government to get a government issued death certificate because the funeral home won't give us the ones that we got through them until we pay the bill.
Sure. Yeah.
See the vicious loop there? You can't get the money because you need that certificate. But you can't get that certificate without paying the bill.
For the record, guys, when I said sure, yeah, I wasn't agreeing about that. Me and Jack had talked about that offline.
Yeah,
I just realized how that sounded.
I bitched about this a lot to Monkey already, so yeah, it's just gotten a lot worse.
Right, because that was just with your dad, and now with your mom.
Yeah, now it's even worse. We did not expect her to go so suddenly, because she went downhill real fast, and I mean, it was only 3 weeks apart.
Right.
We thought she'd be holding on until at least like February or March. We figured actually it would be their wedding anniversary, which falls in that time frame. And nope, she declined very quickly. And suddenly I get a phone call, and yeah, it all kind of hit the fan.
Dark, I've been looking for the message. I haven't seen one yet. Monkey, you tell Jack about the SFO.
I didn't mean to
video.
Start bitching.
No, you're fine, man. What is the SFO video? Help me out with what that is. But chances are I haven't told Jack about it because me and Jack really haven't talked in more than a week.
Yeah, it's been a little while. We both had
a
lot of personal shit going on.
This is why Monkey should be paying Jack. Monkey need to make enough to pay Jack.
Yeah, we ain't rich. I mean, this ain't.
Oh.
This,
right. SFO is short fat otaku.
Oh, what'd that guy do?
Fuck, I don't remember what the video was, guys. I did not watch the full thing. I watched part of it. He went on a podcast and he was defending Ruby Ridge. That's what the government action in Ruby Ridge.
What?
Yeah.
The one they lost in court for?
Yeah. The one that they were ruled to have entrapped him.
Yeah. And so straight up shot his kid in the back.
Shot his kid in the back, his wife in the face while she's holding a baby, totally aiming at somebody else.
Yeah, totally.
The world's worst fucking sniper. Short Fat Otaku had a dumb take on Ruby Ridge. Yeah, okay, I got there. Did I miss another thing from you? You said to read the next one, and I still haven't seen it. I'm trying to be a good host. Yeah, I didn't get to watch all of it because it was one of those nights where I was really tired. And I'm like, I'll watch it in the morning.
Yeah.
I watched probably the first 5 or 10 minutes of it. Yeah, he was on another podcast. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said, I have not watched the whole thing. But basically, you can't let stuff like that fester, and that he was a criminal, so they had to go get him.
That he was a criminal because they turned him into one.
Yeah. What they did there is inexcusable. There's no other term for it. They straight up murdered Americans, including a child. And the passing of the blame and the fact that nobody was held accountable for that shit. And I'm not just talking about, Jack, like they weren't prosecuted. I mean, nobody was held accountable. Nobody lost their fucking job. Nobody got demoted. And okay, somebody out there go, wait, John Smith got demoted. Yeah, and then he got promoted. What year was that? What year was Ruby Ridge? It's in the 90s because Clinton was president.
Yeah, I want to say like 96 or 95, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was bad.
Not right.
Yeah, and what they did was wrong. And Short Fat Otaku is one of those people who, I don't know what's up with him. He seems to be on a contrarian arc.
Boo.
90? Was it actually 90? That would make it Bush, not Clinton.
Just look it up. A lot of the people were in Clinton's ATF because Janet Reno was still running a lot of that shit.
When I said it was under Clinton, I wasn't Waco pretty early in Clinton's presidency.
Yeah, Waco was after Ruby Ridge.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was really soon after he got elected or took office.
It was 92. 1992 was Ruby Ridge.
92. So yeah, it was. He hadn't been sworn in as president yet. 92 would be the election year. He won in 92, inaugurated in 93.
Yeah, a lot of the guys that were at the Waco or at the Ruby Ridge thing ended up at the Waco problem too.
Yep.
So you can see why they continued a track record of being deceitful little scumbags.
But don't worry, they've cleaned up their act, I'm sure.
Sure.
There were videos pissing me off. None that we can watch because they're way too long and I am way too fucking tired. But let me see if I've watched a lot of videos I didn't mean to watch. Oh, have you seen the saddest YouTuber guy?
I don't know.
Rags did a video on him. When did this video come out? Yesterday. And I'd seen the video before because I've seen other people respond to it. It's this lefty motherfucker. He's a bread tuber. I wish I could remember his name. I don't really care. Salary, S-A-L-A-R-I. Salari? I don't know.
Who cares?
I'm going to call him Salary because that's how he spelled it. Salary there, he accidentally pissed off all of his fans and he lost like a fifth of his Patreons in a single day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How'd you do that?
Well, he said something. I've not watched whatever it was that pissed everybody off, but his own telling of it is he said something about parasocial relationships.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Which, by the way, has become another one of those fucking buzzwords I hate to hear.
Yeah, it's right up there with the multiple personality one. Neurodivergent.
Yeah, I'm not bringing up Salary on the screen. I'm going to bring up Rags' video of him. You got to see this guy's face, man.
Real quick. Thank you, Alan, who says, love you, man. Love you too. Thank you. Sorry that took so long to get to. I still only have one monitor hooked up. Thank you, Timothy Sealbeck, for the generous donation. Morning, Mr. Jack. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen Rags in a long time. I didn't know he was still around.
He started doing videos again. He's had a couple recently. But the sad sack on the screen, that is Mr. Salary there. And that is like one of the happiest faces he makes during this whole video.
Jesus. He looks like a Will Wheaton impersonator.
He spends his whole. By the way, I'm leaving Rags on the screen because those EFAT pussies won't pay attention to the fact that I keep calling them pussies, and it's bugging me. I'm just saying.
Oh well. It's their manginas. Won't let them say anything.
There's a nobody on the internet calling you a pussy because he pauses shit more than you do. Pay attention. But anyway, this guy starts out in this video talking about how cancel culture isn't a real thing.
Okay.
And then starts going into whining about how his statement lost him 1/5 of his income, which he then goes on to say that is financial terrorism.
What?
Yeah, and it triggered.
What does that even mean?
It triggered his PTSD that he has that keeps him from being able to get a real job.
Oh, fuck off. Oh, God. I hate these people. They're so lazy. They can't do real jobs because they're fucking lazy and they're easily distracted because they're stupid. Oh, yeah, it's my PTSD. Shut up. You were never in a combat zone, you pussy. Nobody raped you in prison. You have no PTSD, you lying sack of shit. I know people that have real PTSD, and this motherfucker, I highly suspect, does not have it.
PTSD from what? Well, that's the thing. In this video, he never tells us. Now, y'all are going to make me look this asshole up.
Oh, I can tell you what it probably... Dad made him get a job for like a day, and it was so traumatic. Oh, they yelled at me. Oh, I'm a pussy. Ugh.
Yeah, he called it financial abuse to not give him money.
Financial abuse to not give him money. You have $5.
I take the Satsu approach to anything our audience gives us. It is never expected, but always appreciated.
Absolutely. Nobody owes you anything in life.
No.
And if somebody appreciates what you're doing and they want to throw a tip at you, awesome. But you guys don't owe us anything. We really, really appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I got a lot of money trouble right now, so this was really helping. But for fuck's sake, you don't owe us anything. We're glad you show up.
I'm trying to see if I can find the video apparently that upset everybody, but maybe he took it down.
Yeah, he probably hit it like a little bitch.
He's one of those guys who's very monotone in his talking, and since he says bread tuber stuff, people will tune in. But it's not like he does like a video a month, and his videos get maybe 20,000 views.
What?
I don't know. I don't know how he was making a living. That's his words, not mine, on YouTube with 30,000 views once a month.
Yeah, like that's unlivable.
Well, he also tells us his money, which is really weird. Or maybe Rags is the one who went and looked it up. Can you just go to this guy's Patreon? Let's see. Oh, you can. Does he have it where the dollar amount is up there? I don't know if people still do that. People used to have it show how much money they were making.
You can
looks like
opt
it's
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's hidden now. So I'm gonna go with what Rag said. He was making $360 on Patreon after the cut to his finances.
Well, that's not bad. I mean, you're not going to survive on that, but
yeah.
I mean, maybe before it got cut in half, he could do some like a real modest living in the hood.
And even if he got the full dollar per thousand that is used to be the standard number, that's $30. So $400 a month. Where's he living?
That's a real good question. It might be some middle of nowhere town, but assuming that before his Patreon got cut, he was making $700 and then $30 a video or whatever. So he's making $730, $750 somewhere in there. He could probably get a cheap apartment in like Podunk, Kansas.
I know, not even there. Oh, by the way, he's also married because he said, y'all made my wife cry.
Oh, it's because she's got more financial burden on her. That's where his money's coming from.
He
Solved the mystery.
Apparently she woke up and saw the money that they lost from Patreon and was upset by it. And
I would be too if I had to carry that. I mean, first of all, she's married to that weasel.
But that wasn't him doing it to her. It wasn't because he said something really stupid and it cost them money. No. It's that financial terrorism.
Oh, the damn money terrorists. What the fuck is he talking about?
I just want to put him on the screen so we can laugh at this soy beta cuck bitch.
Oh, good point, Tailfin. It does imply he's married to a woman.
I just want to point out, I mean, in the other picture we saw an Xbox controller, a brand new one.
Yeah.
He has his own computer. Maybe that is his in the background, but it looks more female. So they got two computers.
So they're not hurting for money somewhere.
No.
I see a controller on the back right. The pink keyboard handrest there, that's custom. That's going to cost you $20.
Got the pink mouse. Yeah, this is the controller you could see from the other angle that we had. This is his Xbox controller there.
Yeah. Both those high back chairs are what, $150 each easy?
Depending on where they got it, you could get it for as little as $120.
Yeah, all right, $100,
Yeah.
let's say.
That
you know,
computer,
most of the time I sit on a wooden chair. I'm just going to
Sure.
let you know.
that computer in the background has two monitors and a sound system. Yeah, so I don't know where he's getting his money and why I owe it to him. But I hate these entitled little shits, and I'm seeing it a lot more with bread tubers as their shit is falling apart because, you know, we got to live as close as anybody wants to under communism in the U.S.
It sucked balls.
And everybody is like, yeah, no thank you. We're good. What else did I have? The other rags one was one I was talking about briefly on my game stream earlier. It's this chick. The video's a couple of months old now. I remember when it first came out. But it's this chick who used to write for IGN. And there's a joke in the gaming community, Jack, that no matter what the game, how bad a game is, IGN will give it a 7 out of 10. And it's true. They give a whole bunch of games 7 out of 10s that probably shouldn't be above a 3. And in this case, it was the Star Wars Outlaws game. It kicked off the controversy again because once again, they gave a shit game a 7 out of 10.
Wow.
And she tells us that 7 doesn't mean it's a good game. That just means it's average.
No, a 5 would be average.
You would think. I could even give you that a 6 is an average.
Sure.
5.5 is the actual average there, 1 through 10. But yeah, she's like, no, what it is that there's other really shitty games out there. So the bottom 6 numbers have to be for them.
What?
Yeah. That's her reasoning.
That's fucking stupid.
Because game journalists are fucking retarded.
Well, they don't tend to be game players from what I've seen.
Dangerous, thank you. Holy shit, that dude looks like the love child of soy and tofu.
I would argue that he looks like the hideous sex child of Linus from Lost and the smoke monster.
He goes on to say, you made my wife cry. It's okay. Pretty sure his wife's boyfriend will make her feel all better. But seriously, what an entitled prick. Look, I'm on the internet. There's a chance I've made his wife have an orgasm just with my voice, if we're being honest. I've heard his voice. She would, seriously, her panties would just fall off if she listened to me. Thank you, Snubbirth. Hey, I use Xbox controller on PC, and you know my 7-day skills aren't nothing to sneeze at. I'm not judging people I use a PS5 controller when I play some games. I'm not against the controllers. I'm just saying that's a $50 controller sitting there and it's brand new.
Yeah. Thank you, Travis Gardner. 2-bedroom apartment in Edmond, Oklahoma goes for $1,100. That's insane.
Yeah, it's expensive out there, man.
That's ridiculous.
Even where I live, which is really small town, I think the cheapest you can rent something's like 800. Unless you're on like government assisted housing. Yeah, if you're going private sector, you're not paying less than 700. What else do I want to talk about? Jack, you weren't here for it. January 6th came and went. What'd you think?
I'll continue to not care about that Fed op.
I was pointing out to the audience, my whole life, up until I was 45 years old, I did not give a rat's ass about the date January 6th. Nobody talked about it. Even if it was mentioned in the news, it was just like a formality. Nobody cared. But this year, they're like, I can't believe Kamala has to suffer this injustice, this indignity of doing her job, but she's going to do it because it matters more than anything. Did we really need another date in American history that's
she
the most
looked like she
important?
was half drunk.
I didn't watch the actual thing. I streamed all morning and then I said, fuck it, and went to bed. Look, there was nothing going to happen. There was no, even the FBI was like, nah, it's too cold to do anything this year.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they did anything that day. Yeah, you have to be like a weird constitutional nerd to know that kind of stuff. It's like knowing court cases by their name that you didn't learn about in school, the kind of nerdy shit that I do that I don't judge anybody else for not doing.
Yeah.
And just like you probably have a date that's important to you that I would never fucking care about.
Yeah. Why would you?
Yeah. They had never been an obviously stolen election before 2020, so nobody cared. But wait, I hear what you're saying, Faithless, but go back to 2000. I mean, you have the Supreme Court going, no, we're done counting, which leads to January 6th, 2001. Al Gore had to get up there, and what they believed was a stolen election. I'm not saying it was, but it was believed by a large part of the country. And January 6th is coming.
Matt makes a good point. Nancy Kerrigan was injured on the 6th of January.
Yeah, but nobody cares about that big tooth loser. The funniest part about the Nancy Kerrigan,
the ugly bitch.
The funny part about that with her and Tanya Harding is neither one of them was going to win the gold anyway.
Yeah, they just hated each other.
Nancy was a good skater, but not gold quality. And sure enough, she got silver, partially on sympathy. Let's be honest.
Yeah. There was a little bit of favoritism, I think, there.
And Tanya literally fell on her ass.
Yeah.
In 2000, it was asserted they didn't actually believe it. No, I think some people, in all fairness, Faithness, I think some of them honestly believe they were cheated. They weren't. But the only reason we talked about January 6th in 2020, it's not even the stolen election. That's not the problem. If everything else happened exactly like it did, but plants weren't there to make the crowd all riled up, we wouldn't be talking about it now. And I am seriously looking forward to Trump getting into office and Kash Patel getting in there and having a look around the files. How many of those files you think are going to be redacted to the director?
Oh, they're going to try it, and then that won't fly.
Trump can literally just go, they're not classified anymore. And I hope he does. I really do. Speaking of that, I wanted to talk about one thing Adindro said. Mostly he just said stupid shit because he's a moron. But he said this, and I'm paraphrasing slightly, but you guys can check me on this. He said, you guys are all going to get what you deserve. I am willing to suffer just to watch you suffer. You know, because I said they need to, desalinize the ocean so they have water in California.
That's some petty shit, man. I want to suffer so I can watch you suffer.
Right? I don't even understand that kind of thinking. And I've seen it from several lefties.
Yeah,
I
it's very vindictive.
He's not a lefty. He's just a nihilist shitbag. But it's a lefty kind of thing where, like, I'll suffer just so I can make sure you do too. How do you live that way?
That's a really good question.
How do you wake up every morning that goddamn miserable? Even when there's stuff that happens that I don't like, Jack, I don't want bad shit to happen, especially not to me. I don't want my family and friends to suffer just so I can watch some asshole on the internet I don't even really know suffer too. And I don't understand the thinking that goes behind it. I don't know how you get that horrible in life.
It's a specific kind of jaded, I think.
Is it jaded, or is it were you just right the first time, just petty?
It's both, because a lot of jaded people are very petty. But it's not only like some sort of maybe they don't have friends or something, but there's a certain amount of jealousy that they won't admit to that makes them become petty because they're angry, they're jealous, and they need an outlet. Maybe they don't have any friends, or they have like addiction problems or something that makes them want to see everybody else burn. They're just angry people that probably need therapy.
I remember when Rush Limbaugh said that, I think it was Rush, maybe it was somebody in Congress, I don't know, either way, that they hoped Obama failed. And that's slightly different. I hope he doesn't get those policies through. It's not the same as I hope he gets those policies through so I can watch him suffer and he can see me suffer. Those are two different kind of things. I understand the first one. If Kamala Harris had won, I would want her to fail to try to get any of her agenda passed. But if she did get it passed, I wouldn't
that's
want
because you're ideologically opposed to her.
Yeah. But if she did get it passed, I wouldn't want to, suffer so that she can.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Look, that's a level of like vengeance that's hardcore. That is completely nihilistic because you're going to suffer and your opponent's going to suffer, and you want that?
Yeah.
No, that's not how revenge is done properly. That's just some nihilistic, almost that like Messiah complex. Like, I am willing to bear this cross so that your life is miserable. There's like a Messiah issue going there. I don't know. It's pretty dark, man. People that are like that, they tend to be a little on the unstable side, in my opinion.
I've seen several bread tubers say something similar to it, and I'll just never understand it. I just won't. Like how Bill Maher wanted the economy to crash to spite Trump. Well, he didn't want it to spite Trump necessarily. I get what you're saying, Frosted, but he knew that without the economy crashing, Trump doesn't lose. Whether you believe 2020 was stolen or not, in the build up to it, everybody knew that if the economy stayed strong, that you couldn't even have cheated that one. Because the economy was firing on cylinders we didn't even know we had. And they thought it was a V8, and suddenly Trump's like, no, this bitch a V12, which I only know exists from playing games. I don't know much about cars, Jack. But I like to sound smart, so I throw out things I learn about video games.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's pretty effective. But yeah, so I mean, it was firing on all cylinders. So it wasn't just out of spite. He had a specific goal. He wanted it to crash, not so that he could watch Trump suffer through financial hardship, but to make him lose the election. And that I can kind of see a little bit more. I still think it's horribly jaded. But if we're talking politically, I understand where that comes from. Ed wasn't saying that he wanted to see me suffer so that somebody else will save us from it all. A little bit of pain now for a greater reward later, which is what Bill Maher was basically saying. No, Ed's just like, I hope it all sucks and we suck together. Thank you, Dangerous. Dems don't deny elections. Really? Selected, not elected. I would ask Stacey Abrams, but she's too busy governing Georgia. And let's not forget Russian interference in 2016. Well, even besides that, I mean, the Democrats about this, but several did object when it came time to certify the votes in 2017. Mm-hmm. Because it happens every fucking election until 2020, when suddenly, like, we will never question anything ever again. Which, I mean, sure. If you guys want to stop your petty bullshit that meant nothing anyway, I'm all for that. Just don't make January 6th more than it was. Sonny from the View once again was out there comparing January 6th to fucking Holocaust. Saw another idiot. Cops died that day. No, they did.
Oh, God.
Look, cops may have died that day, but not at the Capitol.
Yeah. Not in D.C. they didn't. Real quickly, thank you, Evil One, for the generous donation. Get yourself some Japanese, the food or the other kind. Well, thank you. I will.
There you go.
Appreciate it, man.
People are talking about cars. I don't know shit about cars. I know I put gas in, I turn the key, or not these days. You just push a button. I miss turning keys in cars. Our van just has a button.
I don't have anything even remotely that new, so it's all keys all the time.
How do you put your keys between your knuckles to hit somebody if it's a little beep beep? I'm gonna smack you with a tiny
right?
piece of
a
plastic
thing.
Ooh, you bruised me.
Have to carry some old keys around.
What really bothers me about our van is that the gear shift isn't a gear shift. It's a dial on the dashboard.
What?
Really, really close to the volume for the radio.
Oh, yeah, that idea will never backfire. That's an engineer going, nah, people won't make that mistake. That's dumb.
Yeah. I've almost reached for it. I don't mess with there's volume buttons on the steering wheel, so you don't really have to reach for the volume.
Yeah, but out of habit, because you're always going to. And all of a sudden, your transmission falls out. What's that band you're listening to? New transmission. That's what that is.
When I was in driver's training, the instructor, we are driving down Princess Anne Boulevard, and he shifts the car into neutral on purpose. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. He liked to play little jokes like that while you're driving. He was old and didn't care. I think he was like too afraid to end it on his own, so he was going to take us all with him.
He didn't want to go by himself.
I heard we get 4 times as many virgins. Yeah, I didn't realize you could actually shift a car while you were driving until that moment. You can't shift it back. You actually had to stop that car.
Oh, I had a drunk do that when I was driving one time. We were in his car and I was supposed to be taking him home, and he just shifted.
Nice.
Yeah, his clutch made all kinds of fun sounds. And then we got stuck on a median. That's a whole other thing, though. Long story, not very funny. Mostly just pitch-hitting terror.
Yeah, I don't fuck around in a car. I don't understand people who do. I like to get where I'm going safely, Jack.
I like to be alive.
Me too. It seems better than the alternative.
It really does. It really does.
Haha, I'm going to take the keys from the ignition, lock steering wheel.
Oh, God. That would be how you get your ass kicked in my car. You try that shit.
Our high school had a driving course in the parking lot, and we would do some driving there, and they'd split the group up. Half would go out to the road, and half would go or would stay there. And the other instructor was a chick. She only worked with us one day, but we got stuck with the other guy all the other days. Our group, because we were in groups of 3, but a total of like 12 of us in each person's grouping. But when it came time to actually drive the cars, for some reason, they're like, don't just let one of those kids die. Put 3 of them in the car together every time.
Yeah, it's not only is it mortal peril for everyone involved, the survivor gets to feel guilty about all their dead friends and classmates. And anytime you screw up, the whole school's going to know about it because you just got 3 other people spreading it like wildfire.
We were in the closed parking lot course. There was no reason to have all of us in the car. But one of the kids, when he gets in the car, he didn't buckle his seatbelt. And so he pulls up to the mock 4-way stop that they had there. And the instructor just opens the door and yanks the kid out of the car and drops him on the ground.
Wow.
And he goes, make sure you put your seatbelt on.
This is a carjacking.
It was one of the funniest things I ever saw, but I don't think it was legal. I'm not sure.
Not. That's probably child abuse.
You're not supposed to throw children on the ground from a moving car.
Hey,
The
back
car
then,
was-
good old days.
The car was still in drive. Thank you, Frosted. Hey, Monk, did you know Teslas start with buttons? On an unrelated note, your Grok score just dropped another couple points. I just don't like the feeling. I miss the feeling of starting the ignition. Not that I drive that much anyway, Jack, because I can't see for shit, and I'm not killing people because I need to go somewhere.
Not with that
I'll bug
attitude.
my wife. Assault and battery isn't legal? Shocking. Yeah. He didn't get in any trouble for it, so I guess it was okay.
Well, back then, nobody cared. Like, you were teaching that boy a lesson.
You say back then, it makes it sound like it's the 50s and shit, because to me, that's back then.
Well, it was more than 30 years ago, buddy.
I know. What, 90, 91 when I went through driver's training?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was quite a while ago.
Apparently. Every so often, I'll see something that reminds me of the year, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah, one of the things about aging is you don't notice how much time has passed because the days go faster. So you really are left with that feeling of like, wow, that was that long ago. And you're not being an asshole about it. A lot of younger people always take that as like, you're just being an asshole. Because for them, their life is still ahead of them. Yours is fading quickly. So it's all coming to a crashing end. And so you're like, wow, that was 30 years ago. Because I look at like pictures of celebrities. I'm like, oh, yeah, she used to be really hot. What the shit happened? Oh, 30 years.
Ned says, I'll bet that guy uses his seatbelt to this day. Probably.
I would hope so.
He was scared. He was really scared. The one that really hits home for me is when I see how old movies are. Because a lot of my favorite movies are now 40 years old.
Yeah.
Or even worse, 50 years old. I mean, a lot of really great movies came out of the mid to late 70s, and they're all in their 50s now.
Oh, yeah.
Getting there.
Yeah. Quite honestly, there's a lot of great movies from the 70s and 80s that never would be made today.
Oh, most of them wouldn't. Yeah. They're too controversial.
Yeah. So I always recommend them to people, but then I'm like, man, they're not gonna watch it because it's old. That
Soy Boy Bitch Salary or whatever his name is we watched earlier If you go over to his channel, there's a video titled "This Was Never Okay," and it's got a girl on the front. So I'm guessing he just doesn't like women.
Probably. Your Hunter from the Future's epic. Yes, it is.
It's a video I clicked on to get the picture to bring up on the screen of him. And as I was looking for a picture, the only thing I saw was a scene from Community, and it's Jeff and the little brunette, whatever the hell her name is, Annie, together. Yeah. And my guess is it's guys hitting on girls. That's never okay. That's where we've gotten to in society, is that guys aren't allowed to hit on girls. Don't tell her she's pretty. She doesn't want to hear that. Can I tell her she's bitchy? Because that's what she needs to hear. It's amazing how they've ruined art with this stuff while always telling us how important art is.
Well, art that they approve of. And they have to ruin relationships at the same time. You know, it's a 2-for-1.
Well, I don't know if you saw the controversy. I forget the name of the movie, but the Netflix movie about the black women in World War II who went and sorted mail.
Oh my God, what a waste of time.
The
movie, not the sorting of mail.
Yeah, look, what those women did was cool. They helped get the guys their mail, and you know, you're over there watching your friends die, and a happy word from home, I'm sure, was wonderful.
Yeah.
But they play it up like these women were on the front lines.
Yeah, well, it was Oppression Olympics front lines because somebody didn't like that there were black people.
They were the only black female unit that went overseas during World War II.
Yeah, but they were sorting the mail. They weren't the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah. And when we get to the point that we're celebrating the mail sorters, because we got to make sure we tick the boxes of, you know, female and got some pigmentation going on, aren't we just like trying too hard? Aren't we?
Well, they're running out of things to complain about.
I mean, I really do appreciate what the real women did, but these actresses, because if you ever listen to these people, even the ones who were in Band of Brothers, I mean, they go out of their way to give credit to Easy Company, and like what we did was nothing like what they had to go through. But there's still this little part of arrogance that seeps in, and I just can't take it from, like, we honored them. Did you? Or did you, read the shit you were told to read and do it the way you were told to do? Have you seen the shit going on with Blake Lively?
No.
I don't care about Blake Lively at all. It's Ryan Reynolds' wife, ladies and gentlemen. But I watched Megyn Kelly's show from yesterday while I was sitting here sad. And she talked about it. Blake Lively was in a movie, and the director of the movie and her are in a little spat. She's suing him right now.
She's suing she's suing who?
She's suing the director.
Oh, okay. I got confused. I'm like, she's suing her husband?
Sorry. No, she's suing the director and I think the film company, his company. He's also her co-star, by the way. He co-starred in the movie with her. But reportedly, it got to the point that she was such a bitch that she was editing the movie herself, and the version of the movie that got shown wasn't his cut. He's the director.
What?
Yeah. It wasn't his cut. It's supposed to be his cut, and they won't let him go.
I'm sorry, that's crazy.
It's supposed to be his cut. They won't let him go to the premiere because supposedly this gay man was sexually harassing Blake. He's married to a dude. Just to throw that out.
She's claiming sexual harassment?
From a gay guy.
You're making this up, right?
I am not making this up. And one of the sexual harassment claims is that he walked into her dressing room while she was breastfeeding. Ladies, I'm going to need y'all to get together and decide whether breastfeeding is sexual or not.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting a little tired of the confusion on that one.
Yeah. So she takes over the editing and he's not allowed at the premiere. And so she just brings her cut of the movie and they play that instead. I like the balls on this bitch. I'm almost impressed by it. Depends who's feeding. I guess so.
Was it Ryan?
And her husband got to write in scene. Yeah, it comes out after the movie's all the way out that Ryan Reynolds apparently wrote one of the scenes in it, that rewrote it without the director's knowledge.
Wow.
Yeah. You check out the Megyn Kelly thing for the full breakdown. It's just insane, Jack. And
It sounds like it. Was there an ad for Mint Mobile in there?
She's
he owns
suing
Mint Mobile, for those of you that don't know.
She's suing, saying that he retaliated against her for reporting him for sexual harassment with a harassment campaign in the media. Look, these are Hollywood types. I don't give a shit about them at all. But it is funny. I mean, she snuck her own cut of the movie in. That's insane.
That's hardcore pettiness right there.
I really don't care about Hollywood drama. They're all degenerates. I find the humor in it, man. I think it's fun. It's much the way I watch a lot of the YouTube drama. I don't care about it, but it's funny as fuck. I can't help but laugh. Because especially with the bread tubers right now, Jack, because they really are. They're turning on each other quick. When the audience starts drying up, there's no friends. And yeah, they all hate each other right now, and I am loving the shit out of it. It's funny. Kind of sounds like this director is a pushover, lazy bum. He's a pushover. I mean, he's a male feminist, and he didn't want to upset the lady. Male feminists, you got to listen to me. Stop it. You're just allowing women to abuse you. They're still not going to sleep with you.
Or you're trying to rape them.
Yeah, or you're trying to rape them, and you're trying to do it the way they told you to, but it doesn't work. I mean, watching bread tubers turn on each other is glorious. It's fucking amazing. I love watching it. I saw Cenk Uygur was on with who is that dirty bitch? Sean, actual Justice Warrior, did a video on this the other day. Cenk goes on to the show of one of the chicks who's on the Young Turks, or at least used to be. And she gives him a whole bunch of shit for going to that Republican thing that happened recently.
Oh, yeah.
And he says to her, like, look, we got to stop just attacking people for having even just slightly different ideas.
Because she attacked him for having a slightly different idea.
Yes. It was fucking insane. I highly recommend. I should really bring that up and shill it out for him. Not that he needs me to shill his videos, but it is fucking hilarious that she doesn't even. He's telling her, we have to stop doing this shit, and the whole time she's like, we don't do that. By the way, I'm going to do that to you right now.
God.
It's fucking glorious. No, not the Anna is still wrong one. Where is it? I watched a few. I don't get to watch as much of his stuff as I really want to. He makes I don't want to say long form content, but longer form than most people. Okay, here it is. This is from 9 days ago. It's called TYT Host Attacks Cenk. So yeah, apparently she does still work for TYT. And she's just a straight up bitch to him, Jack.
Wow.
There you go. It's in the YouTube chat. Check it out. It's Actual Justice Warrior. One of these days, I will trick him onto this show. I'm just saying.
We have to trick people onto our show.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, yeah, check that one out. It's funny as fuck. And it's kind of like the bread tuber we watched earlier. This guy's like, there's no such thing as cancel culture. Why are you guys canceling me? It's like these people have no sense of reality.
They don't. They're bread tubers and lefties. Yeah, exactly, Assassin. She's a commie, so...
True. But I don't understand how you get to be that oblivious. How do you function in life that oblivious?
Well, most of these people are pretty well off.
I guess
there are a whole lot of like super poor commies, other than like Antifa, or people mooching off their parents. I mean, actual working class people that are socialists. There's not as many of them as there are like these loudmouth rich kids. Look at Vaush.
There's a lot of really poor communists. They're just in communist countries. There's none here.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah I'm at here in the States.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were different, because it's how they sell it. Like, we're gonna live just like me. You'll all $10 homes, and in reality, yeah, you all have one $3 million home. There's 900 of you living in it, but look at the palace you're
Parents
in.
do.
Rodline, thank you. Nice pool in Deadpool.
Yeah, that looks suspicious.
Oh, sorry. Nice Pool in DP and WL, Deadpool Wolverine, was based on the director. Yeah, I didn't know that until I was watching the Megyn Kelly thing. It's based on him.
Nice.
The line where he says, I identify as a male feminist. Yeah, that's a shot at that director. The man bun thing going on is a shot at that director. I mean, it's still funny in the movie, but knowing the full context, like, ooh, that's kind of a douche move. I get it. He's standing up. He's standing up for his woman. I understand that. What you need to do is what most men need to do and tell her to shut the hell up. Democrats are the party of the rich and powerful. The
quit causing problems.
Sorry, guys. We picked up a slight delay here. It happens on the satellite sometimes. Democrats are the party of rich and powerful. The Republicans were the only ones listening to what average people want. I just want to warn you, Republicans and conservatives and stuff out there, don't think that the Republicans care all that much about you either. Trump does. The Republicans just care about keeping power the same as Democrats do.
Yep.
Just being honest with you.
Which is why we need to replace them. The rhinos got to go.
And the problem is they'll just get replaced by more of them. We need an actual new party, honestly. We need a new party. We need to do what they did with the Whigs, throw them out and start over. Call it something else. Call it the party of Trump for all I fucking care. But get people in there who are actually principled. Republicans at least made some effort rather than ignoring or condemning us. Yeah, that's fair. But if we're being really fair, they do it every year. I mean, I've said this so many times. Trump was not the first guy to say we need to close the border. And that became his signature thing. But that shit had been going on. Build the wall was not Trump's idea. That's an idea that had been floating around for at least a decade at that point. Floated by Republicans who got elected on a promise to do it and then didn't. I get it. I understand populism and I understand speaking to what the people want. At least they were paying lip service. But is lip service really okay when that's all it is? And I sincerely hope that we have a reckoning in this country that, I mean, we just saw Mark Zuckerberg come out and be like, I'm going to stop censoring people on Facebook. But if you remember 4 years ago, he said this shit.
User base is way down.
My internet is breaking up horribly. I'm sorry. What'd you say there, bud?
Oh, I just said because his user base is down significantly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's
over
Jack?
Facebook. He's starting to realize.
Oh, you're breaking up, bud. I just assumed it was me because... Sure. I just assumed it was me because it's always me. And I don't have anything on the screen to let me know differently. But yeah, this isn't the first time. I gave Zuckerberg a little bit of credit, and like I hope he does it, because he came out years ago and like we're gonna try this free speech thing, and it lasted not at all because they never actually did it. Now the fun part of it, which is amazing to me, is that hang on, welcome back, my friend.
Is that better? We lagging?
Seems to be at the moment, yes.
All right, we'll see.
The fun part about what Zuckerberg said with his new free speech thing is that they were getting rid of the fact checkers. That made me laugh, because that means those fact checkers, who, by the way, suck at their job, are going to be losing a shit ton of money that Meta was paying them.
Yeah, they were making killing over there.
Oh, yeah. And the problem isn't with fact checking. The problem was the ones that they chose. They chose all partisan sources, horrifically partisan sources that lied a lot. And so what's he doing, Jack? He's going with the community note system. Tell me Elon kicked your ass without telling me Elon kicked your ass.
Yeah, well, if you can't innovate, copy, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm all for it. I really am. I was talking with my son about this, and he doesn't use X, so he wasn't sure, how that worked. And I explained to him, like, the community note, they put actual like articles and sources for it. You can't just go up there and go, hey, he's a doo-doo head. Now, that doesn't mean every community note is good. I've seen some bad ones for sure. But by and large, they're mostly factual. And way more factual than the fact checkers are.
Yeah.
Hi, Nuts. How you doing, sweetheart? I never said hi to you.
Sir.
I saw you. I've even spoken to you, but I never said hi, and I apologize for that. All right, Jack. We're close to the 2-hour mark, and I wasn't even going to do a show because I'm so fucking tired. In addition to, the rest of the shit that happened, I have a pinched nerve in my back that has been pissing me off for a week now.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, yeah, it's nice. Every time I move suddenly, it goes, don't do that. My cat, who likes to lay on the floor to be pet, doesn't seem to understand Dad can't bend over.
Oh, she understands. She just doesn't care.
Oh, that fucking cat. Lady Monkey sent me. Lady Monkey goes to bed, and I come back in here and sit down after I tucked her in. And my phone goes off, and I have a Snapchat from my wife. I'm like, I hope everything's okay. And I open it up, and it's just a really close-up picture of Phoebe. Because Phoebe crawled right up and put her nose up against Lady Monkey's.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
There are way too many community notes that are entirely factual and just ignore the point of the post. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of those. I've voted several down for being irrelevant. I see them on joke posts. Somebody's making a joke and they're like, actually.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't know who wrote that, but I'm sure I've pissed them off before. Snapchat pussy pics. Yes, indeed. Hairy ones at that.
Unshaven, you mean?
I think my cat reacts to stress from the family.
Probably. They can sense a lot. They like routine and any kind of variation, any kind of noticeable stress. They can pick up on all that.
Well, every so often, Phoebe will just obsessively groom to where she ends up balding parts of herself.
Oh, geez.
And we couldn't figure out what was going on. And I'm still not positive of it, but yesterday gave me a clue. So, Jack, I was a blubbering mess yesterday. And out of nowhere, Phoebe starts that massive grooming. She has a big bald spot on her now.
Oh, wow.
And I really think that she just reacts to the stress of us, because we we thought, well, maybe it's when people come over, but she had no problem with that this time. We took her to the vet. They tested her skin and everything. She's fine there. And the vet said maybe it's stress. And so we tried a whole bunch of different things, and nothing. We weren't trying to stress our cat out. We were trying to see what things might stress her out that would make her do that, and nothing. But my wife is a little ball of stress, and occasionally that, blows up. And now I have to keep a really close eye on it and see if that's what's upsetting my cat. And then I got to never get upset again. That's not easy for someone like me.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Do you sing around her? I know you're being a jackass there, but for the record, I can make Phoebe come to me just by singing. She likes my singing.
Or she's worried you're dying. She's like, it's making that noise again. Stop, I'm here.
Nope. She loves it, and she does the little kitty cat smile and will look up at me.
Oh.
It's so cute. You don't have to like my singing. My cat does. Granted, her ears are full of hair, so maybe it sounds better. But yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. You guys are way too kind. Jack, anything you want to show?
No, I haven't gotten anything done. I've been dealing with real life nonsense. Thank you guys for the incredibly generous donations and all the support you give us, all the messages of support. It really does mean a lot. And it's getting me through a pretty hard time. So I wanted to thank everybody for that.
Don't let anybody tell you that you don't have a right to be pissed off at what's going on with DEI hires and especially what we're seeing in California right now. You're right to be pissed off. Yeah. And it can't be allowed to happen.
They're going to get you hurt.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for all the well wishes. You guys are fucking awesome. We love you. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend. Uh-oh. I think we totally lost Jack right there. You guys can still hear me, right?
Drift in and out.
There he is. Guys, I'm going to sleep. Take care of yourselves. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Song sung singly.